Welcome back to You'll Go Wild. In this episode we revisit the snowy mountains. We cycle to Davey's hut and go in search of Kidman's hut. Our journey is so beautiful and peaceful as we drive towards Mount Kosciuszko. The road winds back and forth for miles down to the Gungarland River campsite. After a quick setup, we head off for a bike ride up the steep hill on the other side of the river to Davey's hut. Davey's is one of 4 huts in the Kosciuszko National Park. Originally it was built by Tom Bolton, 1909. Tom was a mailman for the Grey Mare mine from Sawyer's Hills. He worked a plane for gold in spare time and fell in love with the area and saved enough money to buy the land and built a small homestead. He moved in with his then wife Mary in 1911. Then the property was purchased by Les Wallace, a bookie, but his gambling debts forced a sale to Davey Williamson in 1935. Davey would bring sheep and cattle for summer grazing. Davey never married and he was always seen wearing a piece of yarrow in his coat buttonhole. Things very well in here, but there's actually on the wall there's traps and up on the roof there's lots of hooks hanging down, or I've assumed they must have dried their meat in here. It's a really cool hut, and there's the fireplace and of things left. And in the little blue bag is some food, dried food, and some tins of tuna and some porridge, oats porridge. And I like to point out it's gluten-free food, so I was very excited about that. And you can sign your name in and out. Here the big stash of wood so you can keep yourself warm. And deer horns, which are rather cool. Fantastic sight here. Look at this. Views are breathtaking. That's a really amazing place to get lost in, isn't it? So this is, and then you walk around behind Davey's hut. There's the dunny. Hike up the back, because up behind there is a tombstone of one of the miners that used to come up here. This is it's had a lot of history, and inside there's a book about the actual people who lived here. The family, the big Bolton family, was massive, lots of kids, and the father and the mother died when the youngest child was really young, and the father turned to grog when he's mining and he got drunk. I think he had 8 children, and the 8 children, or the children, all had to bring themselves up because the father would disappear for weeks on end and left them. So I'm not quite sure how that would happen in nowadays. I don't know if the kids would be able to cope living on their own, bringing themselves up, killing,
goats to try and feed themselves. But the book was very interesting to read. It was quite good. I think kids today would be too upset and worried about the fact that they didn't have internet up here. There's nothing to do. They'd be sitting there. They would never survive, I don't think. That is beautiful. I thought this was going to be a site. Well, I know it looked big in the picture. Yeah, it was an obvious tomb. It could be that over there.
We couldn't find the gravestone of Ned Hell, a hermit gold miner. He apparently lived in a small hut near Back Creek, west of Davey's hut, and would go fossicking for gold in the area. Davey had a dislike for horses. He reckoned that he ate grass all day and night and never laid down, unlike cattle that would lay down and chew their cud, giving the grass a chance. Roy Hedger took over the hut in 1950s and remained there until 1969, when it was resumed by the National Parks and Wildlife Services and maintained by the Kosciuszko Huts Association as a stopover for hikers.
Ah, so
You were hoping.
don't make me laugh.
There is an entire book been written about the history of Davey's hut, titled If I Should Wake in the Middle of the Night, by Pauline Downing. A copy can be found inside the hut, and it's a really interesting read. There are many interesting sites nearby, including the grave of Dick Ames, Botham Plain Hut, and the ruins of Naphthalis.
So we're out on another big hike. We decided not to take our bikes this time. So we're waiting for that cloud to come over, and so we might get a soak in on our way back. So we're out back over to where Davey's hut is. And if we go over that way, I think it is, there's some more hikes, some more huts to go and investigate. We've come to the little river crossing. What was this river called? There's a name for it anyway. It looks like a little bit of a challenge how we're going to cross. We might end up with wet feet, because there's no way my little legs are going to reach across there.
It's hard to see. So Teddy's Creek is the next one.
Oh, so this isn't Teddy's Creek then?
No. In which case, I think probably this is the track.
What, that green line?
Yeah, which is the line we've been walking along. Find a narrow bit to get across. The problem with narrow is, narrow means what?
Don't know.
Huh?
What does narrow mean?
Think.
Oh, I see. Yes, but I've got hobbit legs and I'm never going to stride across that.
I think, is that the top? I think you will.
Yeah, you just want to see me fall in. I've already fallen in once. And that was easy, there were stones. Oh, it winds round. You alright?
Yeah. Probably a bit narrow here.
No, it's not, it's worse. I'm just going to have to get wet feet. So let's go for the shallowest. Okay. I'm going to have to put the GoPro down, there's no way I'm going to hold both. And get across.
Look how deep it went.
It was very hard to try and control the laugh.
It made your day if that's Davey's locker.
No, it's not Davey's hut. So we just noticed there's a plaque over there, and originally, well, back in the day, I think it was in I can't remember, I'll check up the dates. but there was a plaque put in honour of the original family that owned this land. So we're going to make a detour. I think we're meant to be going that way, but so we're going to do a detour, check out the plaque. Oh, there's some little roos. So this is the plaque of the Snowy Plains house, and it would have been here somewhere. Somewhere in this area. Fortunately, I think it burnt down, according to the book. And this is where the Maurice Napthali and his wife Sarah. Sarah was the daughter of John Bolton or James Bolton, one of them, who originally found this land, or lived in this land. He didn't find it. He bought it. But we've noticed that there's also something else down there. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like a cross, but I'm not sure. There are lots of monuments of where, because people died, a lot of people died out here, and so left tombstones and crosses and things. So I might run down in a minute and have a look. You've got to be careful down there, because there's lots of wombat holes. You don't want to fall in one of those. What is he saying there? It looks like wheels, that does. I wonder if it's an old cart wheel. Tin. That's been there a long time, whatever it is. It's not something recent. See, that's a wombat hole. And they just pop up any old place. You don't want to fall down. Let's go and see if we can see him. I doubt he's in there, but... Oh, I hope he's not in there anyway, could he? That could be a bit naughty. Look at that. You could go caving in that. It's a bit wet though. Doesn't look like he's been there in a while because you can't see any footprints. That's a big old hole though, isn't it? Anyway. The stone. Maybe that was part of the homestead that's left, maybe. We were just walking along, and all of a sudden I could see this, what I thought was a tyre, and I was about to say, oh, someone's left their tyre behind. But no, it's a snake. And we were told actually that the snakes are quite, there's a lot of them out here in this part. And he's got his tongue going, he's not going to get any closer to him. You reckon he's a brown snake? I thought he was a red belly black snake. I don't think they all do. Either way, he's warming up. And he's not impressed by us. That's okay. They'll slither away. Oh, there you go. It's very exciting like that.
He was yellow or white under his chin. I don't think red bellies are.
I don't know.
Goes to show how easy you can walk into one now. So that's Davey's hut. We've come up here, and I think that's Collins Creek. So the path will disappear in a minute if we get across this, which I don't know that we can.
We can walk around this way, can't we?
I don't know. Can we?
We just crossed the stream, and we found the It's quite chilly, that water. when we came over this way, the horses were all here. As we walked over, they all disappeared over in that corner over there. I don't know if you can see it past Andy's legs. And this horse here, he's a stallion, so hard to tell from this distance. He didn't want to run away, and now he's running towards us. He's not impressed. We're on rocks, so we are actually quite safe because we're on these big boulders. So he can't get to us as such, but he ain't happy. And if you look above the horizon, you can see there's a big thunderstorm coming. And that's partly why we turned around, because we could hear it rumbling in the background. And the last thing we want to do is get caught in a storm. Now we were going to do a little detour and go over to Davey's shed and go back, because that's the quicker route. But since he's unhappy with us, not sure we will. We might take the long route now and go back the way we came. Because he's don't do that. He's clearly feisty. I don't mind horses.
Quite a sandwich, couldn't you?
It's funny, obviously they must like it here for some reason. I don't know what it is here that they like. Maybe. Oh look, he's coming back again. He's getting braver again. Oh shit, and he's coming. And
We need to.
I don't know whether thing is, we stick to the path. We go, even if we go on the path now, he's going to chase us.
I'm sure he'd be scared if I'm ever.
That's you. Yeah, well, he was the one who didn't want to run away, wasn't he? He is beautiful. I must admit, he is beautiful. What do you want to do?
Back on the path, because we're obviously on his.
He's gone away now. He's gone away now.
There is so much history in this area. It was a shame we didn't have time to find all the huts. But until next time, and we will see you in our next adventures. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.